Okay, guys, we live. We live.
And so was Mike Tyson.
Yeah. I got to get the real story on it. I still haven't gotten the real story on
No,
it.
my man was in first class, and the person sitting behind him was bothering him. He was
He was,
drunk, and he was
yo,
talking smack to him, reaching over.
I'll
And
get my
they had,
boss. I'll get my boss to talk to your boss. That's what he was saying now. Something like that, man.
he was drunk,
Mhm.
and then so that was being taped. Eventually, Mike got up and leaned over and was like, "Wapow!"
Like it says,
Threw a water bottle at him. There you go,
he threw a water bottle at
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it's all over the internet. My
No, I
man
see it. I saw it, but all I saw him on TMZ was him leaning over.
Yeah,
dropping
before all of that,
was
he must have
taunting.
bothered Mike. He was bothering Mike for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. It was bothering him for a grip. But I thought he punched him up.
Mike,
He did.
up.
He did.
Right
Man,
now, there was hands from Brooklyn in that joint.
Yep.
Why would you want to do that?
It's Mike.
I don't get it, man. I wouldn't touch him.
Yeah, we still 84. Yeah. Mike was putting it on him. I'm
trying to find it right now.
I would not even say hello to Mike. I just
Garry,
like
even if I saw Mike Tyson, I wouldn't say anything to him. Come on, man. Mike Tyson, there's screws that's still loose.
No, that man's together. He just want nobody bothering him.
That's right. Pat, don't say
that
man.
That man has been taken totally advantage of.
Yeah, man. You need to hear him speak about the fact that he likes what he's doing now because now no one can take advantage of him. I have no money, so no one can take advantage of me.
Mike got money, but not like what he used to make.
Back when he don't got, what's her name? Not Holly Berry. What's the girl's name?
I forgot her name. Yeah, Robin Givens.
He don't got Robin Givens type money. When I remember when he was in Brooklyn and he got into a car accident, a fender bender in his Rolls Royce, he just gave the car to the police. You can have it.
I remember Mike driving in his Rolls Royce, top down, and rain going down.
Yep.
God bless Mike Tyson.
Remember, Mike Tyson used to date the girl on Ralph Avenue.
Up the block, Ralph Avenue.
So don't put Mike's business out there before he end up punching us.
I'm not getting punched by that dude.
I won't say nothing to him. He can come in my face all you want. I'll run. I don't even want to be around him. As soon as I see the tattoo on his face, I'm like, I'm out.
How about his forearm, bro? Come on, man. He got that Mike Dortch arm.
Hey, whatever it is.
Man, I'm sweating over here, bro.
Oh, he said that Carlin said that Mike took a picture with him earlier, like a selfie with him earlier.
Oh, yeah?
Took a selfie with him earlier. Yep.
Boy, you got a fever?
I'm under the weather, man. You know what I mean? But I'm also under these lights. I'm trying to be like Patrick with all these stinking lights, man. It's heating me up.
Ain't got no lights on. Only got one. Carmen said she's sorry she missed you when you were in Jamaica.
Yeah, man. I think Carmen got back, Wednesday. I think she got back on Wednesday. Had a marvelous time in Jamaica, man. Marvelous.
Yeah, Jamaica.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Man, I know. We talked about that last week.
That's right. We sure did.
Get upset, Gary.
Right. So why you bring? So I don't know why you bring it up.
It's Carmen Hope that brought it up, man. You know what I'm saying?
you don't have to answer everything.
Gary upset, Pat.
He said Wu said that you was partying in Jamaica, Paul. That's why.
I've been upset for about 6 weeks. Pat will tell you.
I'm really, first of all, I took the COVID test today, and
you gotta take it again tomorrow. Probably. It's probably how many people have taken the COVID test today, and then you're gonna check out tomorrow. Dang, I got COVID.
Well, I'm doing a weekend revival, so I want to get through that. You know what I mean?
Come on, Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just do it with the flu. That's when you're at your best.
I see.
Now, if you faint up there, that's on you.
Oh, okay.
So is it in person or is it
in person, man? It's in person. Okay. Beautiful church, man. It's a beautiful church. It's the old Wheaton. Have you ever been to the Wheaton church?
Sure. Wheaton church is good. Good church.
Right. And then they used to worship in the gym.
Okay.
But they turned that whole gym into a sanctuary. And then they cut off part of it, and now the cars drive through it to drop them off and whatnot. Very nice, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got you. We want to know where's the Oakwood gear? If our contract is up.
This week, bro. It's up next week.
It's up
next week. Everything is up next week.
Right. Everything.
Paul going to Oakwood this week, and then I'll be down there the week after next.
Yeah, that's right. Graduation coming up, right?
Yeah.
I'm going. Yeah.
My man said Paul's going to show why he's the GOAT. Go ahead, man. Preach with the flu.
I got to tell y'all something, man. And when I was down there in Jamaica, man, I have to tell you, everybody was smoking weed. Everybody was smoking weed. Guy was on the beach like this.
It's a national plant.
That's it. Catching contacts in the water, Gary. People were smoking blunts while they were inside of the water. You hear me, man? And it was like a dime a dozen, right? I'm walking down the street, right? I came out of the resort and walking down the street. And you know where I was walking, guys? Doctor's Cave. Remember Doctor's Cave?
Yeah. I mean, we grew up there.
We were going down Doctor's Cave and all them spots we drive. I'm walking down there. And this guy walks up, man. You want smokes? I said, but I don't smoke. Check it.
You talk to them long enough, they offer you other things.
Those girls right there. You want girls?
Really?
Them girls, Pat, look like younger than your daughter.
What?
I'm not kidding, man. Younger than like my kid's age. And I was like, what are you just saying? He's like, no, nothing, sir. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You,
so they got to see your ministerial glow when they came up on you.
No, they won't see my ministerial glow down there. I spent the Sabbath on the beach talking to the Lord.
That's good.
That's a lie.
No, but how you gonna say you wasn't there, Gary? So just say
I was there, man. I'm telling you, I was taking in the Lord, bro. You know,
so did you stay on a resort, or was it? Or it
was a resort. It was a resort.
I got you.
It was, all inclusive. Yeah. Or you could drink, like juice. Or you could drink like water.
I mean, you put that band on, so they water that down.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man. I came up with a new sermon. Right, I'm on the street, and I know that my dialect is not the greatest, right? But I know I did a good job because some of them were like, "Yo, where you from?" One guy kidding me was like, "Yo, you sound like you're from Trelawney." You know what I mean? And I was like, "Nah." And he was like, "But you look like you walk like you from here. You walk like you have strength." You know what I mean?
Yeah, the next thing out of his mouth is, "I beg you $1."
No.
Jamaicans like to soften you up first.
No. In this case, I'm already softened up because I already had the band. So he says, you're from here, but you're staying over for the weekend over here. So
they know, they know who. Even if you wash down a generation, they know also.
Gary, that's why you go up there. What your relatives say, and when you go to different places, say, don't speak, don't say nothing.
Don't say nothing.
So once you open your mouth, they know you're not from there.
Yeah.
Except
I bumped heads with somebody down there that was rude to me, and I had to pull him. I said, what you doing, bro?" I said, "You understand?" But Jamaica is, I don't care where you go, it's one of the most, for me, and I think I talked to Paul about this. And I'm going to say this, and this why every time I go to Oakwood and every time I go to Jamaica, I'm renewed.
Yeah.
Carmen.
Carmen said she walk around with her mouth closed.
closed.
She lived there.
I think the funniest Carmen story for me is, I think it was Dave McPherson went to Jamaica and ran into Usain Bolt. And Carmen was mad because Carmen lives down there and has never seen him. And the one time Dave was down there, she got a picture of him. And Carmen was like, "Wow, I live down here. I can't even see him." But that's like us, you know, people we see in New York City, and you walk right by them.
Yo, I went to a boat spot downtown Montego Bay. Nice restaurant, man. Nice restaurant. But you know, Gary, that guy can possibly be the general one day. You know what I mean? Political figure.
He could be president easily, because I think the president or the prime minister of Jamaica came from the athletic side. I forgot her name. You look it up. Who's the president? It's a female, but I think she was a sprinter.
That came from where?
She came. She's in politics now, but she was a sprinter.
Wasn't that your boy Pat? We went to school.
Or she was in charge of. She was in charge of. Sorry, Paul. She was in charge of sports in
down
Jamaica.
there.
Yo, wasn't Holness the prime minister before?
I don't know.
Yo, Holness, that was from Andrews University with us, Pat.
Nah. His name not Holness. His name is Patrick Allen.
It's Allen. Yes,
we
Pat,
were in
Patrick
school
Allen.
together.
That's right. We're at Andrews together.
We were at Andrews together. Now he's the governor general.
Yes.
Well, you know, there's a lot of Adventists in Jamaica too.
Ain't most of the island Jamaican? Most of the island Adventists.
Yep.
Yo, listen. When you're down there, man, there's a church on every
corner. Is.
You hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Yo, listen, man. I was taking a taxi, man. I was afraid because it was just me alone, me and this guy alone. You know what I mean? And I don't want them to take me no back bushes. So he said, "Oh, what you do?" I said, "I'm a minister." He said, "Oh, really? What church?" I said 7 days. He said, "Listen, man, anytime you come to the island, tell me where you want me to take you. Tell me where you want me to take you."
Somebody said PM.
Portia something used to be the prime minister.
Not prime minister. You mean?
Yes, there was a female prime minister.
Yo, how I missed that. But I know that we went to school with Holness. Not Holness. We went to school with Patrick Allen.
Well, Holness is a Jamaican, Chinese Jamaican.
No, not Chinese.
You're not Chinese.
Not Chinese.
Holness is not Chinese Jamaican. So why them I said so?
No,
it's not.
He's not.
Really?
Holness, them light skin. They light skin. I think they're from St. Elizabeth.
See, Carolyn said it right. Well, St. Elizabeth is the light skin crew. That's where Nelson and them from. So Carolyn said, yeah, Portia Rob Simpson.
Yeah, but Portia Simpson, former prime minister of Jamaica.
There you go.
Prime minister of Jamaica, you got it.
Let me tell you what bothered me about it, though. All the shops down there belong to other people other than Jamaicans.
Like what?
Just the craft shops, man.
Yeah, but that's in the city. But when you start going out to the country, you get the real food. And what Daddy called the swims. You just come to the side of the road and they cook what you want.
I had some fish, Gary. They took the front end of a car and put coal in it, made barbecue out of it.
Patrick, come on, man. Come on, Patrick. Come on, man.
Gary, you hear what I said? You know, the front end, the whole front end of the car.
I believe it.
You lift up the hood, it was all barbecue in there.
And now you got to understand too, the subculture is that everybody has a sound. So like how we grew up in Canarsie or what have you, like the Graham sound, and then Brownsville had their sound, then East New York had their sound, and then when you come together, let's say you go down to Jones Beach and have a park, you come with your sound, and God forbid that your sound is not tight or your technical stuff is like they run you.
Right.
Yo, listen, man. Jamaican people, they so resourceful, right? I remember Rodney told me years ago. Remember when we had calling cards?
Yeah.
Them folk took tin foil, you hear me? And took a calling card and was able to get the credits from the card and put it on a tin foil.
Paul, stop it, man. Carolyn said it's innovative. There's nothing wrong with them. It's innovative.
Yo, let me tell you something. Jamaican people can steal chocolate out of the milk.
I think I told you this story. I don't know if you was there. You know, Sister Nancy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sued a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, got her money, I heard.
Yeah. So she works as an accountant in New Jersey. And this is my lesson, because that's why sometimes you need to listen to your kids. And you know, this is not to knock our parents or anybody, but it's cultural. Kids really don't tell their parents, "Oh, mom and dad, you know, go get Cash App or Zelle." You know, parents don't listen to that stuff. The daughter was like, "Yo, you can get all." I guess she told her mother, "It's like, yo, I hear your song all the time. You should be getting paid for that."
Yep.
Said, "Nah, that's something I was doing. I was DJ. That's my old life." It's like, no, they're playing it over and over again. You should be getting money off of that. And they called the lawyer. Off the song, the movie Belly. They're playing that because that's a staple beat.
It's a staple beat.
That's a staple beat.
And remember, it wasn't made off of a record. It was made from a band.
Flat out
band.
One,
so when you hear
buckle my shoe,
we say bam,
four,
bam, bam, it's trumpet you're listening to, you know.
Yep.
All right. Yo, she could retire now. Pure money she got.
Yeah, every quarter, there's so much money in the music industry. A lot of things are automated.
Yeah, so really, go ahead.
A lot of things are automated. So when we were coming up, if Pat made a beat, you know, now if you have a beat, they have like a clearinghouse for beats, and people buy your beats. But there you go. What's that?
Yo,
they can probably cut us off.
Look, we get cut off all the time anyway. I'm just trying to tell you.
You know, right? That's what the cops do now, right?
What's that?
While you try to film the cops doing something illegal, they start playing something like Disney,
so that it'll cut your phone off. So it'll cut your phone.
Exactly.
That's right. I heard that, Gary.
A whole new world.
They start playing "What About Bruno," and your joint just die right there on the spot.
Right there, you can't do it.
Yeah, I remember this in Queens. Watch how that joint come in. You just let it run. We come out with. Here we go. Now you really want to
so
that goes with weed smoking.
So let's interpret for our friends out there, what does bam bam really mean? So
I don't know, because I just heard that electric slide was something sexual.
Electric slide is talking about a vibrator.
I just learned that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I just learned that the song "The Electric Slide" is a female's toy.
No, come on, Patrick. Come on, man.
I'm telling you,
Patrick is 84. Nobody's picked us up. We're not on no big contract or anything.
listen, I don't care. I'm not going. No, you can say whatever you want to say. You can say whatever you want to say.
A sexual toy often used by females.
It's a sexual.
And
toy.
that's what the song was about.
Electric Slide is about. Yes, it's about that.
And you know that's the song that all the churches.
It's electric.
Yes,
it's electric.
It's electric.
I'm ashamed. I'm really ashamed.
I'm serious. And
the next time you host a wedding, let's all do the electric side. Come on up.
It is.
But they be doing that at church. They be doing it at church socials.
Yeah, come on up, Sister Graham. Lead us out in the electric slide.
There's a bunch of songs that
you need to put Valerie Swan on probation. Look what you put up.
What you say?
She needs to be on probation immediately.
He said it's not just for women.
Well, I'm glad that was directed at Pat.
I mean, she's right. She's right. My bad. I take that back. Yeah, it's too close to the Sabbath for me to even say that word. The bottom line is that the electric slide is a sexual toy. Am I right, Gary? Did I say it right?
It's vibrator.
Okay.
It's electric. Now they got. I'm going to keep it right.
Gary, I'm Gary and Pat. I'm telling you that I find myself to be the kind of guy that is up on things. And you could have fooled me. I'm telling you, could have fooled me, man. Mike George said.
Oh, how about the Aeolians last week? That was wonderful, wasn't it?
Oh, nice switch up, G. Nice switch up, G.
Sorry, guys. I just had to run that real quick.
Yeah, probably go over the first couple of words.
No.
No. Then the police joint would step in.
Shay said, great segue.
Great segue. Yeah.
But I did hear that the Aeolians concert was like the best thing since Hardo Bread.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Gary Patrick, who do you think would be the next, or could be the next director of the Aeolians?
I got two people.
Okay. I got one. I got my favorites too. So, go ahead, Pat. You go first.
No,
I got two. Who you got, Pat? And anybody who's online, throw yours in. Who you think could be?
My brother from my Raw Dog brother.
Theodore Thorpe.
Theodore
Thorpe. He was on my list.
That's one.
I had the guy.
Hold on, Pat. Hold on, Pat. You got two.
Pine Forge.
The two from Pine Forge. Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Really?
And I got a dark horse too. It would be I hope I'm not stealing your thunder on this, Paul. My dark horse is Lulu.
That's my dark horse too.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, but I don't know, and this goes into what we have. Oakwood right now is going through. It's very hard.
Let me give you another name though. Jania said Roby, but Roby is on right now.
He could take it too.
Yeah, but let me ask him, because I want to ask him this question. Is there a difference between, this is gonna sound stupid, I'm a musician, instrumentation, because I know Roby does instrumentation. No, Roby used to write for what's this group, or manage this group?
Just ask him. Hey, Burton, who used to write for?
Roby. He used to write for a lot of people, but he wrote
for. Throw a link out to Roby. This is a good thing
Committed.
because
You wrote for
right.
committed. Either manager or wrote for committed. But I know that he does bands like orchestra.
Well, Roy was up there last week burning his butt off. It was hot up there.
You saw him sweating, G? You saw him sweat? You saw him sweating?
Roby don't sweat though. Roby don't sweat.
That's who I see. Because
Okay,
what's the name coming here to Maryland?
You got a guy that's over in Atlanta. That's at GAAA.
Who's that?
That's at Greater Atlanta. Greater Atlanta. If Yvette is on, who's the one that does the music for the school that Denise is the principal of? I just met him the other day, Pat. He's really, really good. I forgot his name.
Or Wayne. Wayne can do it. Buckner.
Wayne Buckner. First of all, Wayne Buckner can do anything. I was just talking about him last night.
Is it Wayne though?
Luther Washington.
Oh,
Luther. Well, I know Luther. Third.
Luther Washington can take that thing next level too.
A little silence for Luther, whose birthday was last week.
Yes.
Mm.
Said Luther Washington at GAAA.
But Luther's been there for a long time.
Valerie just threw out a dark horse too. You ready for this one?
Oh, he's a beast. He's a beast, yo. He's a beast. But you know what? Let me just say this again.
This is a money thing now.
It's different when you're doing choir. Well, to me, choir is different than you just being a musician.
You see, also too, Pat. What's happening now is the money has changed, right?
Okay.
Because if I was Burton, if I was Thorpe, right? Oprah couldn't pay me the money that I could get at University of Kentucky.
Oh no.
Oprah's not gonna drop 6 figures in your lap.
Nah, these guys are in ministry. I don't know why.
And what's sad now is one of the things that have to shift for OU in the next 25 years is that people have to pay their worth, because Oakwood is good for 3 things. And the saddest thing is we're known for our music, and we're just getting a music department down there. And the reason I say because we're all alumni, so we're just getting the music department up there. Everybody's recognizing that. And honestly, I forgot his name. That just slipped. The current person who's retiring, who's leaving. Max is really taking the legacy.
He's coming to University of Maryland out here.
Yeah. So I know that he's brought that legacy there. And the second thing is the theological, the mini seminary at Oakwood to go through there. I'll say this, Black ministers who not going through Oakwood, I always feel, as great as they are, it's almost like they're
Sorry about that, G.
That's okay. I feel that they're always kind of like a step behind because of the social constructs that goes with that. And finally, the medical department. If you want to become a doctor and you have a kid that wants to become a doctor, send them to OU.
It's always been that way. But it's always been that way.
Pat, you're right, but would never recognize that. Nobody never really said that.
Oakwood was always sending biology, chemistry students. They had that hookup with Ohio State. It was always like that. But the problem during those days, we were only pushing out teachers and preachers. That was like the height of teachers and preachers. But Oakwood has always been pushing out doctors and out of the political science department was always kicking out social workers and lawyers. It was always been doing that. They just heavy up on pastors. Pastors and teachers, and you don't have pastors anymore.
Wonderful people. I
was in the nursing department. That was huge back in the day.
Yes.
Come on. So you're right about that. I think. Let me just tell you this, and I have no qualms about it. I'm still proud of Oakwood. I'm still proud to be there. I saw Willis. Willis,
Pop Willis' son.
Pop Willis' son, he had put up something. Let me tell you something. For those of you, and I can say this, my children out of our generation did not go to Oakwood. All right, my children did not. One went to Andrews, the other one went to the
Advent Health
in Florida for nursing. But I could tell you this: when you get frustrated, I get it. Okay, I get it. So I'm not jumping on people who haven't gone through this, that, and the other. But I'm gonna tell you this: Oakwood, no matter what they're going through, it's still where legacy is born. I don't care how you look at it. It's still where legacy is born. You can fight against it. You can say whatever. All the negativity that I'm hearing coming out of Oakwood, it has always been coming out of Oakwood like that.
Well, I'll say this. If you're an alumni and you don't put money into school, and your kids and your kids,
I agree.
Don't go to the school.
I agree.
Don't say nothing.
I agree. I agree.
Don't say what you heard or what you don't know,
right?
Whatever. So some of it is true and some of it is partly true. I may not agree with something or whatever, but here it is right there. And this is this is for Paul because now his child is there. I got 2 more weeks. If your kid went there for 4 years or 5 years, their job is to make that's the biggest investment you could make. Okay, so
it's true. It is.
If your child go to Oakwood and it's I got a terrible experience there, and when you come out of school and you meet other Oakwoodites that are administrators or what have you, but let me not sway. I just need to say this is to say, if you're an alumni and you don't put money into the school, one, if you've written the board or written management and they haven't got back to you or what have you, you got beef there. So don't talk like you're a stakeholder when you're not a stakeholder. That's really what I got to say.
So if your kid is there and I see somebody on social media or they say, yo, president got to go, this got to go. Hey, you're a stakeholder. You know, customers,
right?
You know where we're going as far as that's concerned. And I'm not fighting against that. But let me tell you something. I see a lot of people, and by the way, I support Oakwood. So even though my children didn't go there, I support Oakwood. There's one thing that's difficult, and I'm gonna say this as far as leadership is concerned, especially Black leadership is concerned. We got to be good at something and get out of the status quo. I'm not saying this for Pollard. This has nothing to do with Pollard. I'm going right across the board. I'll give you an example. Want me to give you a fight that I have? As a youth director, all of us as youth directors, we pay kids to come work for us during the summertime. Okay. All the other schools, what they do, they match it. So if you make, Paul, we were doing it as tent masters. If we made $1,500, the school gave us $1,500. So you had $3,000 to go back to school with. That was at that time, that was like half your semester or whatever. Right now, all the other schools are like doubling and tripling, not tripling, doubling what you put in. Ours ain't doing it. Do you understand the fight? What I'm talking about is I'm saying leadership. So you can go to Southern and you can double it. You can go to WAU, double it. You can go to Andrews and double it. Oakwood, $300. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is leadership has to be about somebody stepping forward and saying our youth is still important.
Well, Pat, you are absolutely right. And me, you, and Paul, who are straight stakeholders in the school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny when people criticize the school, they still don't know the half. Okay. Yep. So it's just like, yeah, it is, right. So, so I'll just share this or what it is or whatever. It's no big deal about what happened with the Wi-Fi and what have you or whatever. So my son ain't complaining because my son live off campus, right? Mm-hmm. And Sophie didn't have to complain because Sophie comes over to the house and use it. You still got to press on, all right? But the alumni weekend, it shows or what have you. But I'm going to stick with this, P. Me and you could do a show, and this is something, these are the specialty shows we're going to do. We're definitely going to talk about Black Adventist education.
Oh, definitely.
So
Definitely.
now I'll throw this out of the beef. What I'm upset about with Black Adventist education is like we like to post what the NAD and what they say about Adventist education, how great it is, but that doesn't apply to some of our Black schools. So there's some disparities there.
Let me share with you what my issue is with Black Adventist education. Black Adventist education, every time we try to excel in different areas, we get shut down with financial support.
Yeah.
And so I look at AUC, it becomes not only Black but thriving. Then all of a sudden, there's no support. You have WACUC, it becomes a Black institution. There's no support.
Sure.
And I'm going to share this with you. If it weren't for alumni,
Whatever.
if it wasn't for people who have graduated from there, who will take the $60,000 or take the $40,000, and they can get $170,000 somewhere else, that school would have failed a long time ago. The school is not thriving.
Right.
Oakwood is not thriving off of its policy of making money or giving money to the people. Oakwood is thriving off of the wind of pride. They're thriving off of the humility of people. You see where I'm coming from? And that is the only school that I feel will not die, because we will die before we let it die. But we'll talk about it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Paul, and I'm glad you said this, because we can talk about this subject because you're behind me. Okay. And Pat has gone on.
Yeah.
So the lovely thing is,
I still give scholarships though.
right? No. This is what I'm gonna say. Like, there's a Graham graduating next week at in Orlando, and I think she made the best choice to go there. There's no doubt about it. I think so too. Exactly. And I'm sad that she had to go there, but that's the best for her because she's thriving. At the end of the day, she's thriving. And then the next week, mine is going over there, and he's going to a school where there's another Oakwoodite that is going to Columbia. But when you go to a legacy school and you have three of us, it's almost like you can predict what's going to happen. And one day when my son comes to me and he says, "Daddy, the same thing you told me to look out for, it exactly happened." So
yeah, I understand where you're coming from and what have you, right? Like, I was talking to someone earlier this weekend. They were going on a Zoom. Just hear me out. They were going on a Zoom. And when they were going on the Zoom, they couldn't get on it because the IT said, we're going to need about 20, 30 minutes to get this thing going up. I didn't hear anybody from this college. I didn't hear anyone say, "Oh, this school is full of so-and-so. Oh, this so-and-so, whatever." A lot of people don't know the infrastructure that it takes to do something, just because, and this is what I don't like. I don't like the entitlement that people have on a school that struggles because we don't give back to it.
Exactly.
Okay? I also have a problem when people who don't go there. Okay, I use Pat all the time when Dr. Pollard was on the other day, and he kind of
clowned me. He kind of clowned me. He did. He did clown me.
I didn't send his kids or so and so, whatever. But hey, scholarships are being done over there. His meetings are there every quarter. He's always at Oakwood. He's always giving so and so, whatever. But my issue is not even about that. My thing is, way too often in our Black Seventh-day Adventist institutions, we like to criticize before we create a solution. You see where I'm coming from?
Sure.
And that's my biggest issue. And don't get me wrong, I love my girl Chris. Chris said what she had to say, but she was right. She could say what she wants to say.
But that was my point. My point is, you got Yvette here, who's on the Panamanian sensation. Her child goes there. Your child goes there.
Right.
There's some statements you can make when your child goes there,
because that's the biggest investment.
Because that's your investment, right? Here is where I go back to Black leadership. Okay, because remember, because we really started with Black leadership, right?
We see you, Daphne. Go ahead, Pat.
Yep. Here's the thing. There needs to be on every tithe envelope Oakwood University
Absolutely.
on every tithe envelope. So you could imagine all the churches or the black churches or regional conference churches. There needs to be a push 1 month out of the year or a quarter out of the year.
Every day, every month.
Okay. Even if you say every month, G, even if you say every month, it used to be that way. Everybody has gotten, somebody said Northeasterns is there. Somebody said Northeasterns is there. I don't know.
Rashford, but Rashford is always doing, but that's just one section.
Somebody said
Rashford is just one.
Yeah, but that's funny because here's the thing again, too, right, Pat?
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you seen a tithe envelope?
Yeah, but Gary, you're right. But when it's Gary, I agree with you. But when leadership brings it to the pulpit or to the table or to the forefront, people will respond. The problem is that once we graduate and once we leave that behind. When you look at Harvard University and all these different Columbia, all these universities, their alumni is heavy.
Not only that. Man, we could go on. This will be our after show after the 84th. It comes like a big circle, right? So I was speaking to a board member, and it's just like when you graduate from Oakwood, most of the people who graduate from Oakwood goes to a regional conference, right?
That's right.
Most, right?
What are you talking about? You're talking about preachers, you mean?
Right. No. Paul,
no. Period.
When you're Oakwood alumni, you go to there are 9 regional conferences. By the way,
you're talking about for church.
Yeah, church.
Everybody.
Okay.
Everybody, right. Mm-hmm. So when you graduate from Oakwood, most likely you as an Oakwood graduate will end up in one of the 9 regional conferences, right? Yes. See, now you don't count, Paul, because you actually go to church in a different conference, right?
It's called a state
conference.
Okay, a state conference, right? So with that being said, the tithe that you're returning stays in the regional conference, but that's not being fed back because I know if you go to any church right now on their website, you can't click on Oakwood to go to their direct website. You go to Atlantic Union website, you see all of the conferences, and you could click on that, but you probably don't see Oakwood University, and that needs to go down in the market.
Promotion.
Right.
Oakwood needs to be promoted.
It needs to be promoted the same way. See, a lot of people don't even know that there is a publication called. There was a publication that we've lost. We lost 2 strong publications. One of the publications was that every time someone bought one of Ellen White's writings, and not one of her books, it was supposed to go to the Black Work. It was supposed to go to Oakwood. Okay. That was discontinued like in the 40s or something of that nature. And then you got to also realize that we had our own paper called the Regional Voice.
We still have it. I know. I understand we have the magazine. It just comes out like twice a year or something like that.
Okay. I want to be clear. We should get the Regional Voice every quarter.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
And one of the things that we got to be really careful about is that we don't have pastors anymore, right? That comes from Oakwood that pastors in the regional conference now. Okay. And then and let me be clear. You can get on me if you want to get on me. Call it the Breakfast Club if you want to call it the Breakfast Club. But I want to be clear that a lot of the pastors that come on, they did their 4 years, they did their 2 years at Oakwood. They come out and they're not taught a certain level of pride when they're there. That's why you have a lot of these guys that come out of school, Oakwood or whatever, they come on their pastor and they end up leaving the work because there's not a pride for what they do. That's me. Hold on.
No, you can go ahead. I mean,
okay, that's me. When you go to Oakwood or and you don't learn, if you go to Pine Forge and you don't learn, when you go to GAAA, I think it's GAAA, and you don't learn, when you go to these black Northeastern and you don't learn these things, then the shutdown begins. The shutdown of Northeastern is because we have West Indians that will not send their kids all the way somewhere and do not believe in an educational program. Y'all can get mad if you want to get mad.
No, Paul, you're touching something on another show that's something that we know.
Okay,
that we know. I mean, I spoke to somebody that I spoke to somebody of West Indian descent, and their son was like, "I'm not going to Oakwood," and I knew exactly where it came
what
from.
I'm saying,
I know
to you,
exactly where
Gary,
it came from.
Pat, what I'm saying to you, Gary, what I'm
What
saying,
you said, Pat?
and that's
Hold on, Paul. I know where Gary going.
I know.
Going to Oakwood.
Right. That
How
it was
come?
just like,
Why? Go ahead.
like it was less than.
That's right. Well,
okay.
I'd rather go to this school, or I'd rather go to another school. I'd rather
Right.
go.
Okay. And what?
So when you look on the map, there are like 9 Adventist schools down the La Sierra. So there are people who are black or from the black diaspora that would not even give Oakwood a chance.
Sure.
So I said,
Right.
so there are people getting mad now that the infrastructure has broken down, the Wi-Fi has broken down, but yet, and you could pull it up for me, Pat. I usually do this in my presentation. There was a person at Harvard, I'm not sorry, at Yale, that stole $40 million.
Right. Right.
You don't see nobody stop sending their kids up there.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay. So
Hold on, bro. $40 million in
right.
10 years.
Over a period of time, I saw it.
Right. Okay. And so what
we're hard on ourselves. That's that. We're hard on ourselves. Now, Paul, I get where you were coming from. I don't think that the black school or black education is what's holding it back. I think what's holding it back is that we shut the door. There's a revolving door, and we shut the back door. So, for example, look at Pine Forge, the greatest resource center probably in all of Black Adventism.
Yes.
There should be a percentage, a 1% of tithe going through that is returned to either that or even Black education, period. Not just for Pine Forge, but Black education, period. The preachers, and I'm gonna put on this, the value that comes out. Remember, we're not in the same era piece anymore.
I understand.
Right? You're not gonna find a graduating theology class of 150 like how it was back in the day. And
I understand.
And presidents used to come down and try to figure out who they want, like this is a sports league or something of that nature. That's how it used to be. Gary, the presidents used to come down and handpick them, right? And handpick us. But here's what I'm saying. The value, I'm not on the presidents. I'm not on this. The leadership needs to understand that Jesus is not coming tomorrow. Just hear me out. Paul, just hear me out. Let me just get this right. If the reason why the infrastructure is the way it is now is because our leaders thought Jesus was coming soon, so we didn't plan enough to move ahead to the next level. What we need to do is to occupy until he come, start planning, start getting with outside sources. I could show you Ellen G. White's writings where she's like, listen, the money is out there. The money's out there, but we feel like we're going to get cursed if we use drug dealers' money.
I understand.
Can I share a wonderful story?
Hold on, let me be.
Go ahead, Paul. I'm sorry.
Let me be clear about this.
Come on, guys.
I definitely hear where Pat's coming from. I'm with you, Pat, 110%. I need you to understand that many times we don't get the breakdown. The breakdown comes when there are individuals who are leading congregations, and you said it again now, who are leading conferences and what have you, have no interest in this because they've passed that way already.
Okay.
Absolutely, Paul.
That's
Okay.
all.
That's all.
That's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying when again.
I'm not against what you're saying. Go ahead.
No, I know, Pat. But listen. What I'm also saying is that people don't like when I say certain things about pastors who come in and they leave. They come to the work and then they leave.
I know you hate that. I know you hate that.
I hate it.
And, and
the reason why I hate it is because there's so many guys, I'm going to say guys, there's so many pastors who are trying to get in, and then you get in and you walk away from it. Okay. And then there's so many others who are saying, I wish I had this opportunity. All I'm simply saying is there's so many people that want the opportunity to go to these Black institutions. Okay. We put them down. We put down the Black institutions. We put down our Black leaders. We say it's not good enough. And don't get me wrong. Sometimes we are just terrible leaders. Sometimes we're just terrible leaders. But the fact is that we're not training our people that when you leave, you look back. And that's it. All we do is talk back. We don't look back. And that's where and that's why I said this in my last one. Northeastern, I'm talking about Academy, Northeastern Academy. A lot of people forget Northeastern Academy has been in since the 1920s.
That's right.
This is Northeastern Academy is not a new concept. You see where I'm coming from? You're talking about a place. You're talking about a place where when they would learn vocational stuff up there, so that when they didn't get a job, they'll start their own businesses. And that's why I'm saying that when we became affluent, G, we've forgotten the way.
That's
you
right.
See where I'm coming from?
Yo, let me just say this. There are students.
That's your house, G?
Yeah. There's a student, right?
The Bronx, Pete.
I'm going to say this. So I'll say, because you hear bad things. So I'm going to tell this great story. There's a student. My favorite down there is Lahing, because day one, Lahing took my son. And just like, you're going to change your major, and I got you. And he could, that whole biochemistry department. Who's the other person that was down there? Vanderpool? Is that her name? She used to be up at your church? Elaine Vanderpool? Right.
She was at my church, but Vanderpool. I know you're talking
right.
about.
I may have got this right, so I'm going to call her name. Vanderpool took a regular student at Oakwood, right? And put the young lady in a program or to the University of Pennsylvania. Now, if you know what University of Pennsylvania is, it's Ivy League.
Sure.
For her to go to a summer program for 2 years, right? And after you get to 2 years, you don't have to take the MCAT and you go into their medical school. All right? This girl has no interest in being a medical doctor, right? But Vanderpool is like, you got something special in you. See, that's what Oakwood does. You got something special in you.
Okay, Paul, Gary, hold on. You're not lying. Paul had the same. Paul had the same thing. We had Milan San that when in his Greek class, when Paul overslept, he left the classroom. Hold on, I got a student I need to go get right now out of his
right.
You understand what I'm saying?
But they still do that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I'm not saying. That's what I'm saying. We also got to look at the positive side of what happens there, and again, the whole thing is about value, and you know where I'm going with this. It's all about leadership. That's what it is. I don't care how you look at it. It's all about leadership. Once leaders of our Black churches can turn around and say, first of all, we need to support and we need to uplift it. Right now, when I think about the whole, I'm gonna tell you right now, we have worship every day at Allegheny East Conference in the mornings. Every day from Monday to Thursday, I should say, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just heard last week, we need to pray for Oakwood situation that's going on there with the infrastructure and Wi-Fi. I'm sitting back saying, now you bring it?
Bro.
No, I'm saying this is
what we're saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're right? So Oakwood is not the only institution in the United States
that got
knocked down by ransomware.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So don't go like the world is coming to an end.
It's not.
I get it, right? I get it. Now we get paid and all this kind of stuff.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. Gary and Pat, you guys love Oakwood so much that they can do no wrong.
No. I didn't say. I'm just trying to say that.
No.
There's a lot of things that's going wrong. Look at the subway, right?
Cats still ride it.
Hold on a second. Follow what I'm saying. Look at the subway. Last Tuesday, I had to break down, and you're from New York, so I can say this, and you're my brothers. Last Tuesday, I had to break down. 9/11 fell. COVID was here. People was dying. But the greatest fear in New Yorkers happened last Tuesday.
Yes.
If you're a New Yorker, the greatest fear happened that your train doors are closed, and you can't come out. Somebody put a bomb, and somebody's shooting at you.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to bend the rule or whatever. I have people on my caseload that I was not even, I had to talk to them all who are trained operators.
It's traumatic.
Right?
It's traumatic.
The next day, 5% of train riders, and I wasn't one of them because I drove Nilsa to work, did not take the train. Okay? Today, people are taking the train.
Back at it.
Back at it again, right? But our school have somebody, and go ahead and criticize them, blast them on social media if you like or whatever. But if you don't put money into school, if you don't send your kids to the school, if you're not a stakeholder and you fuel in the fire, I ain't got nothing to say to you. Now, if Yvette want to talk to me on the side, or I'm just using it, CJ want to talk to me on the side, or you got a scholarship that's locked in or what have you, and you have a problem, if you have written the board, right, and you've written the 9 conference presidents and you have got no feedback from them, then we can talk. But please, if you don't know nothing about the whole thing, don't come at them like
here's the sad part.
Because sorry, the PWI schools does the same thing, and it was like, oh, they will fix it or whatever. They got people shoveling money behind them, the alumni taking care of that.
Listen, guys, we could go around this bend about Wi-Fi, about leadership, because I'm hearing it all over, president, whatever. We can go about it. And he's my friend. He's our friend. That's not what this is about. Let me tell you what the whole thing comes down to. I'm going to say it again. Leadership that has a vision. All right. That's what it comes down to, because you could make 100 mistakes. Let me give you an example. People still go to church even when their pastor can't preach.
You better believe it.
Right? They still go to the same church, right? Want me to tell you why? Because one day he got to leave. Just one day he got to leave. Just listen to what I'm saying. Not only that, let's go to the positive side of it. People rather a good pastor than the best preacher. Come on, Paul, come on. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Leadership is in pastoring. Leadership is simple when you care about the people, right? When you care about the people, you don't hide things from them. When you care about the people, that's the bottom line. Matter of fact, you don't hide things from customers, period. It doesn't make a difference what it is. And so it comes down to this. It comes down to leadership. And whether
y'all still at Wells Fargo, right? There are people in this chat that's still at Wells Fargo, right?
I hate Wells Fargo.
Listen, let me just tell you this, guys, and then, man, we haven't even. Anyway, here's what I mean. And we all love Oakwood, all 3 of us. I mean, Oakwood I bleed Oakwood. But when I look at the Black church all together, right? The regional conferences came together for a specific reason, and it needs to uphold the reason why they're still together. Social justice is showing you why we still need regional conferences, period. Oakwood is a part of our regional system in some way or another. Our high schools and academies, same thing. From Detroit to GAAA to Northeastern, they all should be in a conglomerate, right? Because what you're doing, you are actually shooting those young people out to something greater. You don't just stop it from right where it is. So my thing is, some of us have left the system and we're not supporting the system. That is the bottom line.
That's the bottom line.
And those, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say this. I could never be the president of Oakwood.
No,
you know why? No,
don't want it.
No. That's not my point. If I'm going to be the president of Oakwood University, my children need to go there.
Stop, Patrick. Let's just move on to another side.
Stop. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. I work at, if I was living at Pine Forge, or we call it Pine Forge, but up at Pine Forge, why am I sending my child as the leader of Pine Forge to another school? What does that say?
Yep.
Yo, listen,
what does that say?
Listen. You got here in Potomac Conference, our former president says that if you're in a church and you have children in a certain mile radius of the church that you're at, they have to go to a Seventh-day Adventist school. If not, you're gone. I'm telling you what my former president did. Then there are individuals who said, I'm going to send my kids, I'm going to do homeschooling. He says, no, the perk that you have, sends your kids to school at a rate that no one else sends their kids. If you don't send your kids to the school, then I can't, you as a leader can't tell others to support the schools.
Then make it the best.
Well, let's just.
No, but I'm gonna be clear.
Why don't we just?
These schools are the best. Remember what I'm talking about. I'm coming from a state conference. These schools are great schools. What I'm simply saying is that, again, we spend a lot of time allowing our constituents to say certain things, but don't hold our constituents accountable for what they don't do.
We're not interested in a lot of things. And let me segue to this. And it's on the list, right? How many of our Black churches sent their health leaders to Indianapolis this week?
Okay, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
That's good. That's good.
You understand?
That's good.
You know, yeah, we all like having what they have in the some of their health fairs, nurses' days, and what have you. And you go to Indianapolis, none of our Black churches are
You're right.
Are represented. But can I share this with you?
Hold on, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It's NAD sponsored. Okay, and the NAD website and communications. God bless our boy Dan, who used to be there. It's top notch.
Weber.
Dan Weber, right. God bless him. He's up at
Andrews.
So the church, or the Black church, or the regional churches had an opportunity to send their representatives up there to volunteer.
Okay, let me share this with you, Gary, and I get that. People may ask the question, and I can say this: what is the difference between regional conferences and state conferences? It's information.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. No. I'm telling you now that the difference between regional conferences and state conferences is that state conferences get more information.
No, Paul. Information is free. So I'm gonna give you a case in point. Let me go right.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Then is it our president's? Hold on, Gary. Then is it our president's fault, right? Because I'm only telling you that moving from a regional conference to a state conference, there's some things in the past 12, 13 years I've never heard of that was always in place for years that presidents in regional conference never told anybody else if they know.
Paul, I hear what you're saying.
Yep, but
I hear what you're saying. The last quarter, right? I'm going to say that it's just going to hurt, right? And we talking about this. Over the last 6 months, I've known every pastor who has moved within the 9 conferences because of social media.
That's right.
Patrick Graham is moving to Kansas City. Paul Graham is moving to Florida. Nilsa is moving to Texas. I knew all of that, right? But I did not even see one time nurses, let us all volunteer and go out to Indianapolis. Cutting edge public health stuff that we did not find out.
Gee, I don't know how we got into this deep conversation.
None of this is even on the notes.
Oh no, it's not even on our notes. The second,
it's down there. It's on number 17. Number 17. Number 17. NAD. Hold on, bro. No, right here. Number 17. NAD. Indianapolis.
Listen.
No, take it in the chat. How many people knew that? And the only way you're gonna know that is either yourself, get a NAD newsletter, or your communications department from the regional conference or the union would tell you what's going on. I remember in Bethel when we were little, they used to come and say, "Look, they had this conference down there. We need delegates to go."
Gary, listen, brother, listen. It comes down to leadership. Again,
you saw what your boy Myron put up this week?
Missed it.
What are your pastors doing in the day? Something like that.
But Gary, hold on. Before you get to the pastors,
Okay. No, I'm sorry. Did I
No. No, because pastors are leadership too. But before you get, I'm gonna say something else, man. This probably our last show.
I don't think we're gonna make it to the next one.
Nah,
next week we're coming on fire, man.
The biggest problem in Black Adventist leadership is accountability. That is the biggest
accountability and information, P.
Well, hold on, Paul. Accountability is information. Listen, everything is. Listen, you have a responsibility, right? You have a responsibility. How many members are in Northeastern Conference? How many members are in Allegheny East Conference? How many in Southeastern Conference? When you spread that across the board, recognize that the Black Conference alone could pull out of the NAD and still survive.
Absolutely.
All right, with tithe money and still survive.
Well,
right?
It's just like my boy says in our community, right? Some of us are buying Benzes and clothes and things that we can't afford.
Gee, let me hit this one point, and then I'm off of this.
Go ahead, Pine Forge. Go ahead.
Listen. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this really quick. A pastor's job is 100%. Do you understand what I'm saying? Secretaries, treasurers, and presidents of conferences, 100%. Who holds them accountable for what they do in the day? Who holds them?
The executive committee, who has their boys up on there.
Executive committee, no, it's not that their boys are on there. The executive committee don't know that they are more powerful than the president themselves. They flip it.
Facts.
That's facts. So if executive committee members come together and say, hold on a second, executive committee members can hold the officers responsible and accountable. They don't do that.
It's facts, Gary. It's facts. It's number one. Let me tell you something. The executive committee of the conference, of any conference, is the most powerful spot there is. That's why the people who are mover and shakers in regular churches, they look and see who is on that committee.
Yo, Paul, let me just say this one more thing.
All right.
You got ministerial directors, right?
Right.
Like conferences. Ministerial directors are not there to make moves. They're there to recommend based on, listen to this, based on the not when you counsel somebody, give me the other word, when they're coaching.
Yes.
Based on their coaching and their relationship with the pastors. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's not enough coaching going on in the field, and there's no more mentorship going on in the field, right?
Absolutely.
So really and truly, you have a lot of Wednesday and Saturdays going on. I didn't even say Sabbath. You got a whole lot of Wednesdays and Saturdays going on. And if you got good elders, then what you really have is let them do it. But then when you get to the next level from there, they're running mediocre businesses. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So when they're running these mediocre businesses, how do you think Oakwood is like that? Why do you think it's that way? Why? Because there's no accountability on mistakes. There's no accountability on growth.
And no compassion.
Well, compassion comes. Yes, I understand that too, Gary.
But when's the last time you heard a story, right? I'm going to bring you and Paul up. Is because I know you're compassionate. I'm not going to get into your business or what have you. We talk about it. When's the last time our pastors visit our mentors, right? I'm going to use my man. There was a baseball player who needed. He was at end of life, and one of the Black baseball players who makes a lot of money now took care of all of his end of life issues. Okay, I know you too, because you're my brothers or whatever. I know certain pastors will not get by you without you passing by their house or whatever. This thing comes full circle, bro. This whole thing comes full circle.
And I'm not putting down. Listen, I need to say this. I'm not putting down the pastorate.
I get you.
Back in the day, pastors used to drive around with white shirts in their car, right? Paul, why?
You don't know when they're gonna call you.
You don't know when they're gonna call you. You understand what I'm saying?
I remember we were taught that.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
we were still a part of that era when we had a suit and shoes in our car driving.
yeah. Listen, let me tell you something.
Telling you.
Let me just tell you this. That's the reason why I don't want to waste time on Oakwood. I don't want to waste time on Northeastern School or Pine Forge School and all of that. All right? Because let me tell you something about these old heads that's dead and gone now. Okay? You don't have to ask them about accountability because they lived and died this thing. G.E. Peters, Fordhams, Earls, what's the dude, Paul, from Dudley's? You understand? When you start calling out those names, these are people who put the church in motion, and somewhere down the road, the accountability is not there anymore.
Let me be clear, Pat. Let me be clear.
Come on, man.
Let me be clear. I'm in my job. I see 36 pastors every month.
That dude's spreading that nastiness.
I see 36 pastors or 36 pastors every month. I'm telling you right now that I'm going back to what you said. It goes back to leadership.
Yeah.
It goes back to just the other day, and I have no problem saying this. The other day, my phone rings. Who's calling me? Henry Wright. While he's calling me, I'm almost peed myself because I'm just like, Henry Wright's calling me. You can say whatever you want to say that this man puts his foot in one pants like everybody else and use the bathroom like everyone else. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't envision him using the bathroom. I envision this guy talking. Okay, you understand where I'm coming from?
Sure.
And the mindset behind his phone call is, I was checking on something, so-and-so, whatever, but how are you doing? All right. One of the things we don't have with leaders is that leaders make themselves now. Before, leaders made leaders.
True. I agree.
I want to be clear about that. And one of the reasons that, like, our issue is that if you have, like yourself, Pat, you've been in your position, was it 12 years?
10 years.
Okay, 10 years. I don't have to hide this. I was driving with you the other day. You said, honestly, if I don't get voted back in, what do you say you're going to do?
Now I'm gonna start a church.
That's it. That's what we're talking about.
I'm gonna start a church in Laurel, Maryland.
Okay, good. Someone was just talking to me the other day. Said, Graham, how long are you going to do what you're doing? I said, I'm called for this very time to be there to help the ministers be ministers. Why? I ain't scared of y'all when I say this. You can call me pompous if you want to. I consider myself one of the best ministers in this area. I do. I don't care. Because if I was out there cutting down trees, I'd be the best one cutting down trees.
Sure.
If I was a mechanic, I'm going to consider myself the best mechanic. Sure. You understand where I'm coming from? So I minister, okay, and I consider myself one of the best ministers out here. What do I want to do? Make better ministers than me. It's simple and plain.
That's right.
We don't have that mentality anymore.
That's right.
People get into this job or get into leadership positions because they want to be there. They don't look at it as a servant mindset.
Right.
So the problem that we have in every aspect of life, Pat, every aspect of life, Gary, every aspect of life, is that you can't leave a platform and not look behind you.
Yo, can I just read this by Benjamin Paul? Good word. I've always been confused how churches, conferences are being pushed to be run as a business, but lack the standards of accountability metrics and performance that we as members are subject to Monday through Friday. You see what has happened with our world, Paul? The pastor used to be the greatest thing on earth. When the 30s and the 40s and the 50s came around, people became educated. You're not the smartest person in the room anymore.
You're not the smartest person in the room anymore.
But I want to tell you something. I was having a conversation with Natalie about this. Because you could be a great leader and not know everything.
Absolutely.
You could have people who are in your circle that's not going to make you look good, but make the organization look good.
Okay, can I ask you a question, Gary and Pat? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm only saying this because, and I'm sure Dad is not listening. I don't think he cares to listen right now.
He's mad because we ending.
Yeah. You have to admit that Dad does not know everything.
Sure.
Okay. But what you do know is that whatever he did, whether it was for the church or anything, he put everything into it.
Sure.
People can tell, G, when you put everything into something.
Yeah.
People can tell.
Yeah.
And that's the only issue with. I was talking to a guy named Sean Kelly yesterday, right? Just a coaching session. And he wants to bring his church past the 200 mark. He says, that's what I want coaching with you, Graham. Take me beyond the 200 mark. I said, how do you feel about your ministry right now? He said, I'm fine. I said, why are you fine? He said, because I know I've been faithful. I said, what does faithful look like? And he told me 4 things that he does that he believed that he's faithful in. And I said to him, if you're faithful and you only got 150, then that's all that it takes.
Listen, and
As
Paul,
long as you're faithful.
and Paul, in coaching, there's sometimes, remember, church is still a science. Okay, church fellowship is still a science.
Absolutely.
You could have 150 members in your church, and they're growing, and you never get to 151.
Come on, P.
So,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, G.
no, finish what you're saying.
And never get to 151. The
Right.
problem with our metrics, Benjamin, is that our metrics is how many people we have baptized. Right? When baptism does not show the relationship that you have with Christ, baptism does not show your growth. Right? It shows a decision, but it doesn't show your growth. So, Paul, I'm just saying that because when you was talking about reaching to 150, 100, 200, 200, 300, the success of a church is not the numerals, it's not the numbers.
Right. Pat, then the success of the pastor, again, it's not the numbers. It's are you faithful?
It's the bottom line, man.
That's the bottom line. Are you faithful?
And let's go back to faithful. Let's go back to faithfulness on this, P. Again, some of the mistakes that we have made is that we thought Jesus was coming in the year 2000. This goes out to Chris, 1999, right? Don't worry about that. That's a private joke, right?
So, well, let me just say this.
Hold on, Gary. Go. Finish.
Right. It all comes down to preparing for the next generation.
Yes.
Right. And you have to make sacrifices.
Patrick, she caught it.
Yeah, she caught it. She caught it. And Gary, she caught it. You have to make sacrifices for the next generation.
Yes.
I want my children to send their children to Oakwood. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Not because of the name, but because there's a waiting list. You want to talk about nepotism? I'd rather have the nepotism of saying, oh, this is a Graham, but let's let him in. But we don't have enough seats for 4.0 students. That's what we need to be thinking about. Not building buildings just to put our names on them, but what's going to come out of those bricks.
Right. Right. And here's another thing, right? What we also don't have, which can also be Oakwood's issue, is that we don't have cooperations with other Adventist schools. I tell this to Gary. Gary knows this, how I feel about this. There's no school on the East Coast, right? There is no school on the East Coast that's doing evangelism the way it ought to be done and taught. You see all these evangelistic schools, they're in the Midwest, they're in the so-and-so, they're in the California. So, the mindset of WAU is the gateway of service. Like Oakwood is what, Gary? Enter to learn, depart to serve.
Yeah.
WAU is the gateway to service. And I'm telling these folks, you need this to be the gateway of evangelism. You need to have a co-op program with the theology department down there at Oakwood and up here. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And that's the only way you become stronger, because WAU is no longer it's a union school, but it's a historically black college now.
We come listen. We done. We're done. Because
I just want
the IHOP. Oh, go ahead, G.
So let me just address. I'm going to say this, and I don't want nobody to take this. So Daphne said that nobody's addressed what she's been talking about. Right. So let me just say this for all three of us, because we go to this. There's people that come in the chat. I'm not saying that is true. I cannot address the nursing department because I don't know anything about the nursing department. If you ask me about political science, you ask me about the biochemistry department, you ask Paul and Patrick about the theology department, we can talk to you about it, because I don't want to take anything from Daphne because I know she's been following us a long time, and people text us, sends us all kind of documentation or what have you. Then you find out that it's half true, or it's a third true, or what have you. So I'm sure that Oakwood has its issues when it comes to the nursing department. But when you put in there, like, I'm a statistician, right? I'm an epidemiologist also by trade. I'm just saying is that I'm not doubting what you're saying, but I'm not going to address something that I really don't know anything about it, about what's happening. We can't even address the music department, but I could tell you this: everybody who was angry at Oakwood, right? I could make an assumption that the very people who was saying bad things about Oakwood, y'all was up there Saturday night watching Max Ferdinand do their things with the Aeolians, because those numbers went right through the roof where that is. So I don't want nobody to think that we're ignoring them, because I'll share this with you since we come down to the end of this. 3 weeks ago, there was a person that, and we're not going to say all of it. I told Patrick Moore that clearly said that we were ignoring them in the chat, and we were not. And they said that we were talking about certain people, and I said, and we have examples that that's not true. So we're not hating on you. We just
Daphne's my girl. Daphne's my girl, but one thing that I'm not, and I think I know where you're going with this, G. We're not lawyers. And one of the things I find out about people who complain, I'm gonna give you a great example. And I don't know if Krista wants me to say this, but Krista had put out something that was amazing. See, I like social media because Black leadership don't move unless they embarrass.
That's right. Pat, you're right about that. Yep, you're right about that. They don't move until, but I like to look through the conversation, the post, to see if it's authentic. You see, she was coming from an experience. And when you put your experience down there, then what ends up happening is that you can't refute someone's experience.
You can't.
Right.
So I've heard about the nursing department. I've heard about different departments. Daphne, let me tell you what the real thing is. You write a letter, certified. Those are the things you need to do in order to find out, is this thing true? Is it not true? Whatever it is. And then we could address something of that nature. But I'm going to tell you what the Grahams are not, or I'm going to say Pat Graham is not. We're not lawyers to everybody's problems. That is one thing that I can't do. But one thing we can do is brighten the doggone corner where you at. That, to me, is
your English sucked just now. Pat.
What happened?
Your English sucked just now.
Well, I mean, that sometimes that's just the way it is. But listen,
right in the corner, dog, 1974.
Right in the corner where you
the vocal band. Come on, man.
Do not wait until some deeds of greatness you can do. Do not wait to shed your light afar. Y'all not hearing me?
You sounding like that.
Get some.
Right in the corner. I don't know how y'all got us on this thing. Matter of fact, I think we need to erase it and not keep it up for all the stuff that's been
we need
said.
to call this the black episode 84, because somebody's gonna play this again. We're gonna get knocked.
Yo, David. Yo, wait. Do you see David Steed on? You see David Steed on back?
He said, "Oh shucks, we thought you guys."
You know what's so funny about that? You know what's so funny about that? I'm gonna say very simple. We could have all the money in the world and influence, and they would not put us on a committee to fix it. I could tell you that.
But here's the thing, though, G. I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't want to be on a committee
to fix it.
To fit. Let me tell you the one thing that I hate more than anything else, and I put it up. I can't stand meetings that can be fixed with an email. That can be sorted out with an email. I can't stand going to places where you're going back to the meeting to discuss what you discussed last week and nothing is ever going to be done. Let me tell you something again. Social media, magazine, put it in a book, write it down, notate it, frightens leaders. Bottom line, not talk. When you put it on paper or you put it in media, that's what frightens people. You don't think presidents sit down and say, "Oh man, I hope they don't put that on social media," because that's where it all comes from.
Right.
Yeah, but be careful.
As
Be
Don
careful.
said before,
Be careful what you put on social media, because
if you look at what Don said before, is shame and fear motivated. That's what it
Hey,
basically is. So
well,
you guys last week, you guys had on Anthony Hackett.
great is thy faithfulness.
Play that, Pat. Play that, Pat. Wow.
They say go to the video.
Gary,
Listen,
Pat, if you Gary, anytime you do anything spiritual, Gary's irreligious. Can you see that?
let's go, Gary. Let's go. You ready? Let's go. Go. We gotta go.
go
Gary,
where?
let's listen. Paul, real quick. Hope lives. What's your thoughts? Really quick. Go on. 30 seconds.
Great movie. Almost 2 hours long. It'll keep you going. It'll keep you crying.
Okay.
But it teaches an important lesson in our church and society.
Good. Gary, talk to me. Mike Tyson, what's the deal? What happened?
Mike Tyson whipped up on somebody who was bothering him. You remember he said people like to do stuff on social media until they get punched in the mouth. That's exactly what happened.
All right, Gary, you going on that. I need one more with you, G. Tell me about this is it. The DeSantis Disney joint. Quick.
DeSantis was my pick for president.
It was.
He's gone too far with this.
He's gone too far.
Dog is Disney. Disney put him in office.
Yeah.
And the people and he's a thin-skinned politician. And with this, and the saddest thing is everybody's afraid of DeSantis, but people who have money is not afraid of DeSantis.
Gotcha.
So the legislator in Florida, could probably talk to Sharon about this more, has put this gay bill. I mean, don't say gay bill.
Right.
And they're doing with critical race theory, but now they're trying to take away Disney's land status. What?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hold on. Come on.
It's like Satan versus Satan, bro.
We gotta roll. You're right. We gotta roll. Ukraine, Gary. Ukraine in the Bronx. Talk to me.
It's like Satan versus Satan.
yeah. Beelzebub versus Satan. Go, G.
Oh my God.
Come on, DeSantis. Quick, y'all. I gotta pee.
Yeah, your president gave another 800 million.
Yeah.
That is a 3.3 billion to Ukraine, 3.3 billion to Israel. And we got people who got burned out in the Bronx and still can't get a dollar.
I got
those,
you.
Those refugees.
Going back, Disney needs to move to Puerto Rico. Somebody said, I got you, Gary. So what we need is more money's coming to the Bronx. I got that money.
Shift that money. Reallocate.
I got you. I need to move with this. What happened to CNN on their stream service?
Yeah, those punks tried to come with a streaming service, lost $300 million. They got shut down in 4 weeks. And here I am trying to get a $10,000 loan, and I have to fight for it. $300 million. Damn, Quibi. My whole thing about business and entrepreneurs, a lot of people, black and brown people, they got to go through a lot of hoops to get a little bit of money.
Gotcha.
4 weeks, bro. Same thing with the Black Network too. The owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars put up a black news network, and that's defunct. You got to watch what's going on in the economic times.
Gotcha.
So hold on. So I heard Gary say something about a loan. So Pat, real quick, Gary, real quick. If you can get a business loan, how much would you need?
Who said I need it? Who said?
I said, how much would you want? I'm sorry. How much would you want?
Oh, business. Give me 5 million. Let's move.
Ring the bell, Pat. Go.
Yeah. Let's move from there. Come on. G, you need to hit me up. What's up with Netflix?
Your Netflix lost money in the last quarter, so they went. And this was a problem long before. They were turning a blind eye to people sharing passwords, which we all should have done, right? Now they're trying to
that. It's one password to the 6 of us in our family. So I don't care if they're listening now, but that's the way it is, dog. That is it.
So they're trying to take my passwords and no more animation and all those. That's
trying to make their money back. I got you. So I understand that there was a comedian that wanted to buy Twitter. I know you missed
David
that
Allen Greer. Nothing past me, bro. I know it wasn't even in there. I can't pass that, brother. Yo, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
God bless him. Is trying to stir up some stuff, and now they have some panic or kill button. What they do with Twitter, the Republicans like it because there's a freedom of speech. Twitter in trouble, bro. Twitter in big trouble.
Yeah,
because that was Trump's way to talk to the people.
Yep.
This ain't over yet.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. All right. All right. I'm sorry, I missed it. Your joint right there. Okay, so baseball's back.
Yeah, somewhat.
So Gary, what do you think about that pitcher, man, that lost his temper?
Well, the best pitcher you guys need to be watching, his name is Hunter Green. It's the next Dwight Gooden. You guys
Really?
Yeah.
Stop the nonsense. All right. We're talking about the pitcher that lost his cool.
I'm trying to stay with my man. Lost his cool. It happened to me. I hit a home run. And the next time I went to bat, my man threw at my head. Right? So that means it. But this cat hit a home run and was talking smack, and the pitcher tackled him. Good for him.
Yo, Pat, do you have that?
I don't have it, man, but I saw it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. All right. Okay. We see that going on. All right. The next question that I got for everybody. Everybody saw that Brenda's getting married?
Yeah.
Brenda's getting married.
Brenda's
Walsh getting married. I think we going. Wherever it is, we going. We going to that wedding. We going.
She'll die if she sees us there. Wherever it is. Probably in Tennessee.
It's probably going to be in Tennessee.
Now that we got time, we can travel on a Friday.
We can go on the weekend, right? To go on out there. Get out there. Yeah. Brenda, man, it's all over. Brenda's getting married.
We should have brought her on, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We got next week.
Yeah, we do. That's our last one.
Next week. Yeah.
Y'all don't know nothing about that.
Wait a minute. They said she's on.
She's not on.
Brenda's not. She's on.
She's on.
Brenda's on.
Send it to her real quick.
Wait. I got it.
Brenda getting married.
Hold on. I got it, guys. I got it. If she got time. That's if she got time. Hold up.
Brenda, if you got time, just come on for.
If she don't have time, that's fine.
We get it next week.
Yeah.
Let's see
what she says. We owe her that.
She says she's beyond happy. Come on, everybody.
I got it, Pat. I got her. Hold on.
Everybody, just congratulate her. Just congratulate her. Brenda getting married. Listen,
now Brenda's number 20. We got her on
because you know the guy's from the Bahamas.
Oh, he's from Bahamas.
He's from the
Somebody
Bahamas.
Says a Bahamas wedding.
That's from the Bahamas. That even better for us to go.
Yeah,
and that's in November.
She said, "My heart is bursting with joy." That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Come on, everybody, give it to Brenda. Give it to Brenda.
Hey, Brenda, I sent you something on your what is it called again? On your WhatsApp, just in case you got time to just jump on real quick. But man, I'm so happy for her, man.
Yeah,
she
me
deserves
too.
The very best, man.
Me too.
You know what? I think she's probably the hardest working person that I know. We're talking about doing 85 and 0. She does this joint. There's no ending.
There's no ending with this. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people don't know, right? This lady is highly motivated. She don't sleep.
Nah, I don't think she sleeps. She
don't sleep, man.
Oh, listen, and look what she said. Isaac knows I love you guys. Man, I hope we can get both of them on next week on our last show. That'll be something else. Now,
everybody is our last show, 85. Oh, my girl, Jara Stewart. Big shout out, Jara. Let's say goodbye because we didn't say hi to everybody. Everybody say your quick goodbyes and shout outs. Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I want people to understand this. Things have picked up.
She said you would love him. I'm sure. Yep,
got it.
I'm sure.
Got it. Yeah.
All we want is the beach. All we want is the beach.
We coming down there to the beach.
We don't need just give us a what do you call it? I bet you it's gonna be like a small intimate wedding. We're flying in, guys. I'm telling you.
We going.
I'm going. I don't care.
I'll fly my jet. That's not fun. Okay. We'll ask Mike Tyson to come down too.
Right. Listen. Just to be clear, because people are asking us. Next week is our last show, but it's our last. How do you say it?
If you don't know that by now,
I
don't know. You must have been hiding under a rock. We've been saying it every week, and some people kind of don't believe it, but it's true.
No, we're gonna come back, but we're gonna come back like every now and then to do a special,
like Oprah
special. But we're gonna blame Paul for this because he's his traveling is coming back, and so we got to blame somebody.
Now, listen, you guys made the decision. I found out on the show.
Gary, you hear what he said? He found out on the show.
I was like,
Unfortunately, that's true.
It
my
is true.
goodness,
And
Eric
so mom and dad is, I would say this now that I'm using, you could drop 100,000 and you won't get me to do 6 weeks. I mean, you won't get me to
you
do
would. You would get me to do 6 weeks.
So 100,000. Let me tell you,
100,000. You get me
guys,
to do 6 weeks.
let's be realistic. We enjoyed it. This is something we enjoy doing, and I'm not saying we need a season. Let's just be realistic. We need a season to kind of kick back. We're working. We got stuff that's going on, and we're gonna come on. Stay on Snacks, so that when we just throw shows together, we may. Who knows? We may decide to come once a month. I don't know, but
it may not be at this time though. It may be
maybe another time, right? But you know,
well, I know we want to go to 100 episodes. So I know.
Yeah.
So the specials the next 85 plus 70, 25, the next 35 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Carolyn.
Will be specials.
Sure.
Yeah, it's and I'll tell you this.
And Gary will have a new camera by then, guys. Gary will have a new camera.
Probably so. So, but somebody said, how are you supposed to know? All you need to do is just stay within Facebook and on the in the group,
just like the page, y'all.
Yeah,
just like the page, and we'll send something out. That's it.
Yeah. So
we do, because sometimes we want to be with Wesner Fisher in Atlanta and hang out with him on a Friday evening before worship.
I might be right about that.
All right, and I will work on my math.
What we doing this week? Yeah, somebody said turn on the notification button. It's true. Turn on the notification button. Come on, let's get ready to get out of here with this. Gary,
my hair's here, Brian. I still got hair.
What's Gary? What you doing this weekend?
I'm getting ready to go. I'm actually going shopping this weekend.
Stop it.
Because I'm gonna buy.
Sounds like ministry, Gary. That sounds like ministry.
Yeah, man. I'm very excited for. I'm very excited about my about graduation. So
yeah, it's good.
I'm very looking forward to do that. Yeah.
Pizza, what's your plans this weekend?
Got a revival this weekend and a 20-page paper due on Sunday. So
you get it
tonight, Friday, preaching tomorrow morning, preaching of Sunday night. But I'm gonna do my paper Saturday evening.
Oh, Wu said cafe is ending too. Friday night cafe.
Wow, they were on that long too.
Remember now, it's the pandemic, guys. It's the pandemic.
Man. Yeah.
But John and April's still moving.
Yo, they're doing wonderfully, man.
They got more than 10K followers now.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Gary, listen, that's just the way it is. So listen, guys, we got one more week. I'll be in Florida next week for Jasmine's graduation. So I'll be doing the last show from down there. Donnell said, what happened? Budget cuts?
There's no budget. There was never a budget. There's never a budget.
Never a budget, man. Never a budget. Yeah. Never a budget. Yeah. So we'll see everybody next week. Hold on. What's your snacks? What's your snacks? Snacks, quick. Mine. Okay. Oh, that blue diamond. I ain't gonna lie, man. Been kicking this all week.
That's it right here. Pat, you can't believe it took 84 shows, right? Mm-hmm. To go through. We hit everything on the run shape.
And we never did it on the rest of them, right?
Right. Well, there's one we skipped, and I think we should do that. 19 we skipped, and we should.
Oh, wait a second. We have an issue here. Now, something that Carolyn just said, which would probably work for us, that if we all go down to Florida together, she always wanted one at Florida. So if you could, Carolyn, you could hook us up at your church.
We are doing live shows. We're going to talk about all of that next week.
Yeah, we just got to get off the Friday syndicate right now, because even now we should be traveling on the road by now. So
yeah,
it's what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah, it's a good run. You know, I know Dad's over there like, what wrong with them boys? What wrong with them?
Now that we know what it really means. Yo, can I just end it this way because we know that we got a couple more.
We could go for. We got 5. We could do 5 minutes.
So
yes, 10 more minutes. Oh no.
What happened? I think I told you guys that I was at Pine Forge one night. I was doing something and they were singing this song by Ty Tribbett. So if you don't mind me going out this way, Ty Tribbett.
Do we have a choice?
No, you have a choice. You don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. I mean, you do what you want to do. But let me tell you, it grasped my heartstrings. You hear me? It grasped my heartstrings. Paul, matter of fact, there's a line in that song that says, "I tore the veil so you can come close."
Oh man, I saw that post this week that you put out there, but I didn't get it. I didn't know where it came from.
He's one of the most beautiful. So I was at Pine Forge and they were singing it, and I was like, where did this come from? You know, sometimes we hear, where did this come from? Like I was at Sligo when I heard Ocean something, Ocean. The kids were singing that song, Ocean
without water.
Without Borders. They were singing it, and Paul, it pulled my heartstrings. Then I recorded it one day. I mean, I was at Pine Forge and I recorded it and I put it on Facebook and I said, anybody could tell me the name of this song.
I saw that post.
You saw that? They came the name of the song. But the truth is that I wanted to end this with that song, but you got to hear the words for it.
All right, we're gonna get cut off though, right? Probably.
Actually, when I put up the copyright and who it was, Facebook didn't cut me off. They didn't cut me off, and I think that's one of the secrets. You have to be able to say,
yeah. You should be able to give the
credit to who it is. Right. Man, Claudette said, I listened to the song after reading your post. Wow, I'm telling you, Gary. Let me tell you something. What I recognize about this, and not to try to run this and make it super like crazy spiritual like that, but Paul, we had this conversation before where we said, we just make it so. Dad said this to us.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
We make it so hard to go to heaven. Listen, can I just tell you
before you do it? I posed a question to some guys. I want to pose it to you guys also, and then pose it inside of the chat room. And I'm going to ask you first, Pat, and I'm going to ask you, Gary, and then then the chat room can go on, and Pat, you can throw that song up.
Sure.
I'm going to share with you first that if I'm ever in a place where I am between sinning and doing right, but I'm deep into getting ready to sin or to walk my own way, the song that will always bring me back is CeCe Winans' song "In Return."
Oh,
what is yours, Gary? What is yours, Patrick? Again, the song that will bring you back. One song, not two. One song. And now I'm going to give everybody the opportunity that you can write out your song before Pat closes.
The song that would bring me like to my knees,
or to bring you back from walking in another direction.
Mine is
Carolyn said, "Come thou fount."
Okay.
Yes, Carolyn, because they got a line in there that says, "Prone to wander,
Lord, I feel it.
Prone to leave the God I love." Yeah, you're right.
Or take my heart.
Oh, take and seal it. Seal it for thy courts above. That's good. Bring it to your knees.
Come on, Gary. What's the song?
Denise said, "Be still."
I'm finding it. Yeah.
Denise said, "Be still my soul."
Okay. Owen says, "Jesus, I need you." Pat, I didn't hear yours yet.
Mine is, I'm going to tell you what it is in a second. It's I have a playlist called God. Like it's called Toward God. It's my God moments.
Wow. Mike Dorch is the same as someone else that I know. Running back to you.
Yeah, running back to you.
I don't know if this would have caught you. My song is really Israel Houghton, "Moving Forward."
Oh,
listen. If I hate you, you hate me.
Love you.
If I hate you now and you want to get on my good side or whatever, lead with that. Yeah.
Patrick, Kurt Carr, I almost let go.
Almost let go. Yep.
Gary, you remember that one?
Yep. Shireen says, does Jesus care?
Mercy.
Wow.
Mercy.
Wow. All things get better.
Mm.
What's my man's name again? Oh, I know what it was. This brings me to tears. Trust Me by Richard Smallwood. If you will only trust me. Matter of fact, I love it so much that I have that's like the guitar of it going out. Trust me. Lorraine says, what a friend we have in Jesus.
By the Aeolians.
Oh, yes. Corinne says, blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. I'm telling you, man, a song that
Patrick, it pays to serve Jesus. That's mom's song.
Yes, it pays to serve Jesus. Hattie Washington says, is that my Hattie Washington? South Bend, Indiana? Hattie Washington.
Wow, Jackie kicked this one. Turn your
eyes upon Jesus, and the things of this earth will go strangely dim.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man.
The light of his glory and grace.
Yep.
Pat, what was yours? Yours was Trust Me, right?
She Trust yes. Me, but there's also a song by Kiera Sheard. Kiera Sheard called Free.
Yes, I know that song. Oh yeah, but I only asked for one, Pat. We got to give a one. All right, look, man. I don't know what's going on here.
It's definitely going to be my hymn. Gary just jumped out. It's definitely going to be my hymn. Oh man, my favorite hymn. Come on, P. It is well with my soul.
Oh yeah.
Drag me down every time.
Erica, tis so sweet.
This one, Paul, it starts off by saying, come out of hiding, you're safe with me. Right?
You're gonna get me the
ball. Listen, man,
I don't got it today. Man.
But there's no need to cover what this is Jesus talking. What I already see. You got your reasons, but I hold your peace. You've been on lockdown, but I hold the key. Listen to this, Paul, because I loved you before you knew it was love. I saw it all, still I chose the cross. You were the one that I was thinking of when I rose from the grave, now rid of the shackles. Listen, my victory is yours. I tore the veil for you to come close. This thing is good. There's no reason to stand at a distance anymore. You are loved.
Jesus Christmas.
Paul, you hear me? Gary and Paul, I'm gonna
come on, Pat, just play. We gotta hit the shower, so play it, man. Just play it, and because you know I'm gonna play it in the shower.
Paul, find it. It is amazing by Ty Tribbett. You ready, guys? Anyway, everybody have a good night. Oh, Janet said no more nights.
Yes.
No more nights.
You know what? I want to hear the Home Sisters sing again.
Yeah.
They sing off more often than you think.
Really?
Yeah. They sing a lot.
Guys, you ready to run it, or are we good?
Ready, run it, Bram. Run it.
G, talk to you guys later. Pizzo.
All right,
man. See you on the back end. And Paul, get well. With my soul.
What's the song called again? I'm looking
the song is called. I think it's called "You're Already Loved." Oh man, I think it's Ty Tribbett. I think it's "You Knew It Was Love." I'll put it in and play it for you. All right. Good night, everybody. God bless you all.
Come out of hiding, you're safe here with me. There's no need to cover what I already see. You've got your reasons, but I hold your peace. You've been on lockdown, but I hold the key. 'Cause I loved you before you knew it was love. I saw it all, still I chose the cross. You were the one that I I was thinking of when I rose from the grave. Now rid of the shackles, my victory is yours. I tore the veil for you to come close. There's no reason to stand at a distance. Love, I'll be your lighthouse when you're lost at sea. I will illuminate everything. No need to be frightened by intimacy. No, just throw off your fear and come running to me. Yeah, 'cause I loved you before you knew it was love. I saw it all, still I chose the cross. You were the one that I was thinking of when I rose from the grave. Now rid of the shackles, my victory is yours. I tore the veil so you can come close. No reason to stand at a distance anymore. You're already loved. You're already loved. And so as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. So as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. So as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. So as you run, what hindered love will only become part of your story. Said I loved you before you knew it was love. I saw it all, still I chose the cross. You are the one that I was thinking of when I rose from the grave.